So what are we doing here?
I don't know. We are just sitting, chilling in this.
But why are we here?
That's a good question. On Earth in general.
We are here because we organize a Rails Event Store camp with the RKNC team, and today is the second day and we are working on Rails Event Store. What's your part with this?
It's difficult to say. I would say my part in this camp and in general in Rails Event Store is taking care of browser and UX. So that's the main part.
Yeah, so if you use Rails Event Store, we have this pretty UI for displaying all the events that are happening. People use it for showing the event log and for debugging. It's actually amazingly useful for programmers to see what's happening in the system and why things went wrong.
Yeah, that's correct. And I think we are going to make a little revolution in this area.
Yeah, we've had this UI for like 10 years, or I don't know, 8 or 9 years. And it worked well, people loved it. But now we are feeling that it should be enhanced and there is much more we can do with this UI. And I think the first interesting addition was let's say, required or asked by Łukasz.
Yeah.
And
so we want to make a stream visualization. It's called Streamline, is it called?
Swimline.
Oh, it's Swimline. Yeah.
Like on a pool.
Yeah. So if you have like 3-4 streams and you would like to see events in order in one view, not like by clicking in the different views, previewing the streams, you can do this on a single view.
Exactly.
And do some operations there, like preview the event, like the most crucial data.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Because people who use Rails Event Store, they often use it in combination with some sorts of domains or contexts or services. So the events would be grouped by streams, but those streams would live in different contexts. And then you will see a business process being, let's say, scattered across many different contexts, many different streams. So the idea is to visualize it in one place. It's nice to have it modularized in the code in separate pieces, and then you want to combine them together to have this visualized, which should be handy for programmers, but also for business people. And that's, by the way, one of the trends that we notice when we talk to people who use Rails Event Store is that the browser is used by non-technical people.
Yeah, and I think it's also one of the main goals of this camp to make it more usable to non-technical people.
Exactly.
So we want to create some kind of dashboards or stuff like that. There are many ideas we came up like yesterday when we had this like brainstorm. So yeah, there are many more interesting things coming, I think.
Exactly. Which we are not even still sure how are we naming this.
Naming things is always
It might be called the browser, the event browser or REST browser. It could be dashboard. I think Łukasz suggested Explorer.
Yeah.
The Event Store DB guys, they call it Navigator. Yeah, but the idea is the same, basically.
You know, you're going to browser and browse streams and events in a maybe prettier way than we have it now.
Yeah, and technically it's also interesting because for at least 8 years, I think, if not longer, we've had it implemented with Elm, which is a functional language which transpiles.
I think it's a compiler there.
So it's a compiler to JavaScript. And now we are, thanks to AI, of course, we rewrote it to Rails to also enable people who are Rails programmers mostly to extend this UI. One idea also, which we are investigating, is maybe we can allow people to not only use the browser, but to make it easier for people to extend it, to customize, to write some Ruby, Rails, JavaScript code in order to make some widgets.
Provide some business value to their clients.
Exactly, because what we can provide as Rails Event Store team is some sort of generic UI. But of course, for your application, for your business people, they might want to see it more like extended and tweaked to their needs. Maybe it should be embedded in the back office or in the admin panel. Yeah. We want to make it possible.
Yeah. So we want to spread the information we already have in maybe in different ways, different presentation. Yeah. And enable you to do this. Yeah, because we know that Elm is not the easiest language.
Yeah, it's an amazing language, but it's not the easiest language.
And it was also, I think it was a blocker for many to contribute.
Yeah, it serves us very well for so many years now, but it's time to switch. With this switch, we'll probably require Rails. Like, we are not even sure if anyone used browser outside of Rails applications. We do allow Rails Event Store, actually Ruby Event Store, to be used in Sinatra. In Hanami, it's possible. but probably not so many people do it.
If it's you, please let us know.
Yeah, maybe that's our way. So we will not like kill the previous browser, the one, but we will probably
Fade it.
fade it and probably focus more on the Rails one in the future. Possibly with Hotwire. We don't know how much interactivity we'll build into this, but that's one idea. And then later on, there is also much more we can do with this browser. Like maybe we can build like a tree of visualization, which event leads to which event. Maybe we can combine commands at some point too. We have correlation ID, causation ID, so it should be all possible at one point. But for now, we are just focusing on allowing this swim lane and finish this. Actually, this is done now.
Transition from Elm to
Rails. I think it should be released as a contrib gem today or tomorrow. And so that's like one step forward. For now, it's still the main browser is the Elm one, but we will make like a migration strategy to make the new one.
Yeah, and the new one still looks the same.
Yeah.
As for now, but it's like maybe in 2 hours I will make it look completely different.
Our first step was to make it identical, and the one shot like rewrite with Claude that Tomek did was almost perfect. We noticed like 3 subtle bugs, one of time zone. When you can switch time zones to display the time of the events in different time zones, which is very handy. So that wasn't persistent. There was some 1 pixel problem. I don't know, it was fixed.
Yeah,
and then there was also a precision difference, right? There was some time
conversion between times was handled differently.
Do you know why?
I don't know. I think there was some kind of precision parameter in one function has been written by Claude. So yeah, that was one function that switches the UTC time to your time zone, and there was a small parameter that says like 6 digits, not more. So probably that's why I haven't tested it yet, but yeah, we'll look into that. Also, the keyboard shortcut didn't work. That was also one thing.
Yeah, we have Command K for
stream. So yeah, there are small things, but overall, for now it looks the same, works the same, and we are ready to enhance it.
Yeah, and I think that's it about the browser. I don't remember what else. It's a simple thing for now. And if those of you who know Device, the idea of generating the views, which Device allows you to do, so you can like use the UI that is kind of invisible for you in terms of the code base, but then you can run some Rails generate Device UI or whatever, and then you can see the actual files. So possibly we go this direction too, so that you can then tweak it.
So it will be more modular.
Yeah.
So you can eject the default styles, default views, and make it like you want it.
Did we settle on the technology? You wanted to React?
It was just a rolling joke. Guys were like, because I used to be a React guy. I'm not a React guy anymore. But we were joking yesterday that like they were coming up with an idea to make it like maybe Hotwire, maybe something else, maybe stay with them. And my answer to every question was go with React. But no, for now we are going with Hotwire, Stimulus, and we'll see like what kind of interactivity we would like to introduce next.
Yeah, and also like the decision to maybe rewrite from Elm to Rails or to Ruby views, because that's like ERB behind the hood right now. The decision was kind of in progress, and it was made, let's say, still before AI was very popular. Now we are not sure if it's really still relevant because, okay, maybe people don't know Elm, but with AI you can write
every language. Yeah.
But also people have habits, and I suppose it's still important that some people would just feel less comfortable reviewing changes.
And maybe it's better if you like contribute the code you understand.
Yeah.
Even if it's working and you don't understand it, maybe it's not the best way.
Still nice to read it, yeah. There is 8 of us here.
I didn't count, sorry, I don't know.
But yeah,
around 8.
So much is happening right now that I'm not even following. I can say what I was focusing on today, because the things I do with Rails Event Store is that I work on a repository called e-commerce, where I'm, let's say, one of the testers of Rails Event Store. So I'm using Rails Event Store, and I produce sample applications based on Rails Event Store. So one of them, the main one, is e-commerce. Recently, I was working on a Twitter clone application. I wanted to show how a read model can be implemented using the Twitter concept.
How did you name it, the app?
It's called Twitter.
Original one.
Which was interesting because I thought it would be just publishing an event like post-published, and then a read model would react and just, produce the timeline. But then I noticed that there are some interesting things which kind of directed me into the solution based on a process manager. So when you write a post, there's like a, let's say, process in between of to whom to deliver this. So I created an abstraction called delivery, which of course at the big scale of Twitter, it wouldn't work because it means that whenever I'm publishing a post, a delivery is created for all of my followers. And then it makes the read model much trivial. And then it also gives me more control when to deliver, in what order. But of course, in the end, it produces too many events to be like scalable. But at the smaller scale, I think it's a nice concept because it's just additional abstraction. So yeah, I was using Process Manager there and read model. And Process Manager is something that I really like. And from all the domain-driven design patterns, I like it the most. I think it's the most crucial one because it's like the most top level. And even if you have like domains separated, the Process Manager always coordinates the domains at the top level. So you don't even need to think about domains so much. And process is basically like a checklist. When this, and this happens, you decide to do something else. So in this case of Twitter, we decide to make a delivery because the post was published. And on the e-commerce, the main application is actually the e-commerce application, and there is 7 process managers. One is for reservation, one is for payments, one is for invoicing. So whenever you coordinate, like invoicing is based on the order, so you can decide like what is the process of invoicing. Are you creating the invoice along the way, or are you creating it at one specific moment of time? Anyway, this process manager always has this like a checklist, what is required, what are the events. There's a certain state that we built, and there's a decision to be made. So process manager at the end issues a command, and the code can be written in so many different ways, but we decided to unify it, to give you like some kind of DSL to write process managers. And today, finally, I released 0.10.
Congrats. Subscribe, like, give a star, and test it.
Yeah, and it's already in use by this Twitter application, by this e-commerce application, and yeah, hopefully this will become like, we consider this part of how Mirek calls it business framework or business layer. So a group of gems which are on top of Rails Event Store, but not necessarily part of the core. One of them existed since the beginning, which is aggregate root. So aggregate root is like this main business concept that you have some entity and you publish events and the object itself is event source. So that's aggregate root. And now we have process manager. The next one, maybe tomorrow, I will be able to start working on the read model. Then we have event handlers, projections, linker, and there was one more. So basically we want to give you like this framework that you can use to have this code much easier to write by yourself, but also for us to help you deal with all the important concepts like retries, advisory logs, linking to streams. So it can be all there, but you don't have to be aware of this. You don't have to remember about all of this. So that's the idea. Plus, maybe if we follow some conventions that process managers declares the events is using, the read model declares the events is using, maybe it will be easier for us to visualize what is the flow of events using the browser/dashboard. Another topic that we've been working on, and I think Fidel and Łukasz were focusing on this, was performance. So they have like a bunch of points where they see very, possibly performance-related improvements. And I think one of them was already introduced. I mean, it was at least pushed to the repository. The repository is still not released, which a new index they discovered that we need, and most Rails Event Store applications would need. So it can be a potential performance improvement for many of you.
A lot of things are coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy. Like in these times, we can deliver things so fast.
Exactly.
Like, you said you mentioned 7 things or 8.
Yeah.
In just like a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And it was like today, tomorrow I'll release this and that.
Yeah, it's much faster now. I can say for myself, like this release of Process Manager it wasn't like a super challenging work, but there's a lot of, let's say, boilerplate work to be done around releasing, about creating, structuring the gem. So of course I was using AI, which of course sometimes causes problems. So I broke actually, who broke the build? Fidel or me? One of us. Probably me, but it was like some interference of our work. But it was mostly me because I did something out of convention, didn't review the code properly in this moment. So also the idea that we are pushing new stuff into contrib. The whole concept of contrib in Rails Event Store is that this is not like, of course it's like we try to make it as the best way possible, but it's not like the core system. By releasing something to the contrib, we are not risking breaking the core of the system. And the core of the system is, the Ruby event store gem and all things that are around publishing, serializing, all the core principles. This is like, all this code there is like 100% tested and 100% mutation tested, and we have a coverage for this. While for Contrib, we don't have such strict rules. So we are like allowed to push.
It's more like an experimental stuff.
Yeah. And then once it's in Contrib for a while and we use it in some project, then we want to stabilize it. Then we write 100% mutation tests and so on. And then we treat it as core. But also Contrib, in Contrib, everything is its own gem. So they have its own lifecycle and versioning lifecycle, while in the core system, at least for now, we follow this rule that everything is released as a whole. So recently we released 3.0 and then there was a follow-ups with, or actually we have 3.0 or we have 3.02 now?
I don't know. And because I know that we are working on 3.1 right now.
Yeah, so actually we are on 3.0. There was like the previous major release was 2.19 and then I think 2.20. There were some fixes and now we are on 3.0, which was only some deprecations were removed, so that's why the major change. And now we are working on 3.1. If we introduce another breaking change, we'll probably release 4.0 because we follow semantic versioning.
Wow, it's crazy, like staying so long on version 2.
Yeah. Maybe this year we'll have 2 major versions. We'll see. So Kuba and Tomek Stolarczyk, they're working on Kafka connector, which is related to a big thing that we want to introduce in the next release, which is a pattern called Outbox. And Outbox is a pattern that allows you to do things asynchronously in a safe way, in a way that allows you to process the events, even if something breaks in between. So right now, Rails Event Store, the way it works in sync way, is that it's part of one transaction that we are persisting the event and we are publishing it, and then it's up to the handlers whether they do it sync or async. But persisting and publishing is like one transaction, and with Outbox, to my best knowledge, we want to somehow split those things. So we want to persist, and then using Outbox, there are different ways to implement the Outbox, either using separate table or using separate column, or some sort of mechanism which copies the data to somewhere else. And I believe what they are trying, and I think they are successful so far, is they're using Debezium to copy the events from the events table that we have in the database, and then they can use Kafka connector to Debezium. So now with Kafka, you can actually process the events. So full asynchronous approach and very safe. Because one of the problems we see how Rails Event Store is used sometimes is that even at the bigger applications, people are not secured enough against some failures, which means they might have inconsistent data. As long as you're fully sync, you're safe, but fully sync means long transactions, which also has some sort of drawbacks. So there's always like some sort of trade-offs. Sync is very easy to do, but you might have database logs, for example, while async is a bit more difficult, but you get bigger scale, but then you are at some danger. If you do it wrong, you are at some danger of having inconsistent data. So yeah, this Outbox approach is really important to us, and we actually even consider to make Outbox the default way. So to make async approach even the default, I think that this debate is still before us, but from what I see from the so far conversation, I think we are going to do it the default way. So that's a huge change, actually. It's a big change.
It's like a lot of stuff is going on around Rails Event Store. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
And see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Thanks.